Hey everybody, it's Pastor Bob again from First Church with another one of our, it's not a message, just a thought. And I had something I came across a while back that I've been kind of looking into that I think is really interesting. It starts with, in Genesis 49, verse 10, and it says, "The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor the ruler's staff from between his feet, until Shiloh comes, and to him shall be the obedience of the peoples." So we have this interesting verse that is prophetic, and what does it tell us? Well, first of all, it says there's a scepter. The scepter shall not depart from Judah. Literally, that scepter is what they would have called a tribal staff, but it was the symbol of power and authority for the ruler of the tribe or the nation or whatever. That's what the scepter stood for. The Jews especially looked at this, and the rabbis would talk about it, that this scepter was important because it had the ultimate authority. It had the legal authority to put someone to death, a capital punishment. So it represented authority in all laws, but most importantly, the power to render a capital offense punishment. And so this was very important to them. So it says in Genesis 49, "The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor the ruler's staff from between his feet, until Shiloh comes." So now we have this idea that this scepter is not, Judah is going to have all authority legally amongst its people until Shiloh comes. So then we come to this idea of, okay, who or what is Shiloh? Because the word Shiloh literally means the one to whom it belongs. So we get this interpretation now of what Shiloh is by the rabbis of those days. There's quite a few of them, but this is just one of them. This is from the Babylonian Talmud. It says, "The world was created for the sake of the Messiah. What is this Messiah's name? The school of Rabbi Shelah says his name is Shiloh, for it is written, until Shiloh comes." And so the rabbis and the Jews connected Shiloh to Messiah. And so it was very clear what they were trying to say then. They were saying that with the Messiah, when he comes, all authority will go to him. The scepter will not depart Judah until Shiloh, the Messiah, comes. And to him shall be the obedience of the peoples. So there's this transfer of power, this transfer of authority that's coming. Now this is a prophetic verse. So how did this work out? Well, when did the power of wielding ultimate justice pass from the Jews? Now, there was a lot of times where it could have passed, and this is what I've been doing a lot of research on. During the Babylonian captivity, they were taken out of Judah and enslaved in Babylon. But interestingly, the Babylonians allowed them to have judges and allowed them to enforce their laws, even capital punishment. So even during the Babylonian captivity, Judah had the ultimate authority. The scepter had not passed. During the Greek oppression, they still had that power. The scepter had not passed. When the Romans came at the very beginning, they still had that power. When Herod was first king, he was called the King of the Jews because he was nominally still considered a Jew. And then his son, Archelaus, came to power after him. And he was nominally considered to be a Jew. He wasn't necessarily practicing, but he was called a Jew. Well, Archelaus was dethroned and replaced by a Roman procurator. And around that time, he revoked the Jews' right to pronounce capital punishment. They were allowed to judge other things, but they were not allowed to put a man to death. Now, the historian Josephus confirms this. Multiple times he writes about how the Jews lost their ability to condemn a man to death. And so this brings us to John 18. In John 18:28, it says, "So Pilate said to them, 'Take him,'" that is Jesus, "'take him yourselves and judge him according to your law.' The Jews said to Pilate, 'We are not permitted to put anyone to death.'" So suddenly now the Jews do not have the right. Now when did that happen? Genesis 49 says, when they lose the right to put someone to death, that is the time of the Messiah, because the power is going to move to the Messiah, because Shiloh has come. The Jerusalem Talmud speaks very specifically to this. Listen to this. "A little more than 40 years before the destruction of Jerusalem, the power of pronouncing capital sentences was taken away from the Jews." Jerusalem Talmud, Sanhedrin, Folio 24. So what happened? The Jews made note in their history that around 30 AD, they lost the power to pronounce death sentences and never got it back. So sometime around 30 AD, according to the writings of the Jewish rabbis, sometime around 30 AD had to be the time Shiloh came. And that's the time of Jesus. That's right about when the triumphal entry happened, when Jesus rode into Jerusalem on a donkey and offered himself as the King of the Jews. And they rejected it. And so we have a prophecy in Genesis 49 that rings out the truth. Even to this day, the Messiah has come. He is the righteous one. He is the ruler of the peoples. And we look at that and we see one more confirmation outside of the realm of the Bible, an extra biblical confirmation that Jesus was declared the Messiah by the rabbis. They didn't even mean to do it, but their timeline proved it, that he was the Messiah, he was the King of the Jews. And so even to this day now, we have the possibility of knowing this man Jesus, who is the King of the Jews, and he's the ruler of the peoples, it says, and he's the ruler of our hearts. So I want to encourage you in that. Even in a time now where we can be pulled and pushed and there's difficulties and there's stuff going on and we don't know exactly what's happening, we know God is in charge. He was in charge in Genesis 49. He was in charge in AD 30, and he is in charge this day. He's accomplishing his will. His word is true. Thanks for listening. Not a message, just a thought.